So it's not a dichotomy between thinking and not thinking, really. It's being so interested, being interested enough to explore not thinking. Getting there, that's not an easy get. Whether you're exploring not thinking, but you don't want to try to get that either. You just want to be interested and sit in meditation until you get to the point where you gain some knowledge of not thinking. But don't think that's it. Because thinking is just an expression of that. So there's no fight. Not only is there no conflict between your head and your shoulders, there's no conflict between not thinking and thinking. Because thinking is just an expression of not thinking. Usually we got no way of, usually we get into a dichotomy. We make it a fight, We fight against thinking. If we do get into non-thinking, then it's like a battle. We set up a battle. You'll never get anywhere like that. But if you practice the way, it just takes a long time. It takes so long. Who's got the time? Who's got the fucking time to pay attention to their life and free themselves from suffering? Who has got the time or the interest? That's kind of what we Buddhists are. Somehow we figured it out. We smart. We got smart. I didn't get smart. I was dumb. I be dumb. The dumbest of the dumb. I cannot tell you how many times I had to hear this and I had to read this and I had to experience this and I had to do this until I gained any idea that it was true. I didn't believe any of it, but I just kept doing it somehow. I don't know. I believe something, right from the beginning, something happens that causes you to say, oh, this works. That's what the Buddha said, how things work. And what we're known for is we figured out ourselves how things work. Because things worked, and when we do it, it works every damn time. That's what. When you don't do it, it don't work, If I don't do it, it doesn't work. Well, maybe I ain't so smart. What's really interesting, if I do it, it works. But they're both interesting. How interesting? When you do it, it works. And when you don't do it, it don't work. That is like, amazing. That's the kind of thing, that's the kind of openness and interest in your life that you need. And it's important. Really are important questions. Rinpoche says you cannot ignore your life. You can't not pay attention to your life, although everybody is. But what a waste. What a waste. What a waste. Why not just be a little curious and try? When you don't try, it don't work all interesting. But you're not really maybe paying that much attention. When you try, it works, but it don't exactly work, Such that, enlightened, don't work exactly like that, but it does. As a matter of fact. But it just takes you a long time to, it's 3 stages to Dzogchen. First stage is understanding the view that there's things to be done and they work, but you got to do them. Knowing that doesn't help anybody. Doing that helps everybody. So you just understand, and there's the simplicity. the most important thing is the simplicity of it. You take the skillful means, the practices, the meditation practice, the Alexander practice, or you need some discipline to help bring your body and mind together. You need to practice calligraphy or something. There's a million things you could do. But you need to be out there when you get off the cushion. You need some way to jumpstart your mindfulness engine. Your mindfulness engine needs jump starting because you're a Westerner and you are way behind. You're starting so far behind just because you're a Westerner. It's sad. But that's the way it is. But it's okay. We got other advantages. We got the time. Those native cultures, they got the body-mind synchronization, but they don't have any money or free time. They have to work just to survive. Most of them half of them are starving to death. So you didn't necessarily get the short end of the stick. You got the time to do this. Maybe it's not calligraphy, Maybe it's Zen archery, or maybe it's, weapons, or maybe it's poetry, wasn't just something you like to do, music. But you need a way to bring the skillful means into it, which you can either get you a Japanese teacher, very traditional, who will kick your ass down the block until you straighten up and start practicing mindfulness, or you study Alexander technique. The easiest thing is study Alexander technique, trust me on this. But then you also got to pick up a brush or pick up something, and you got to work things out with your body and your mind. You got to do something. It's a little tricky. Riding a horse, the best thing you could ever do is to ride a horse. If you want to learn to meditate, Trungpa Rinpoche says ride a horse. Eastern tack, working with the horse, not trying to kill the horse, just for you to have some jollies. Working with the energy of the horse. You can't sit there like a stiff, frozen man. Try to put a log on a horse. Try to get a man made out of wood and put him on a horse and see how he does. And when you get on a horse, you'll think, I'm the man of wood, without doubt. I'm totally made out of wood. I don't know how to bend and move at all. I'm truly frozen. But you get on a horse and to either do or die. You either unfreeze or you won't be on the horse very long if you don't unfreeze. You got to unfreeze. You stand there with a sword and somebody whops you on the head. I gotta either unfreeze or I'm gonna have a big knot on my head and I'm gonna feel stupid. You gotta do something because you're a Westerner. If you want to get enlightened without having to take forever, you gotta do something along those lines, according to Trungpa Rinpoche, and he was smart. He was real smart. But here's the big secret. All the Tibetan teachers say, why do not the Westerners progress in meditation? White people don't progress in meditation normally. Why? Trungpa Rinpoche explained this. I explained it in my website. It's very clear, but nobody wants to, do the work. Hear it. They think they can do it just in their mind. You can't do it just in your mind. Your body has to be totally engaged. It just goes so much faster. You can't be frozen that way. You got to unfreeze. That's what you need. Extra work. What is it all about? Extra work. I mean, the whole thing is about piling on the work till you're here and the work's here. Then that's it. You got it. Work. I could tell you some other things, and I will, maybe. I'll do another video. There's all kinds of things about the whispered awe where In Alexander, we just like notice who we are, what's going on, how much tension's in my neck, and then we give ourselves a little constructive thought. My head goes toward ease. And then we move. And you don't have to move slow, but it's probably smart to move real slow. If you move fast, you miss it. If you move slow, you get it every time. Move slow. Smart. Move, but it's not slow or fast. It's moving a new way. Moving not in the old way. The whole point is, I moved in the old way. Interesting. I moved in just the old way. Oh, that's so interesting. Oh, I moved in a new way. How interesting. So either the new way or the old way. But you give yourself a little constructive thought, a little direction. Alexander says, if you ask the body to do something gently, it will do it. It's kind of so profound. And I'll tell you another little profound thing. Your head wants to move away from your body that much. Let it. So basically, Alexander, we just perform these series like a 3-year-old does, really. When he's figuring out his world, before he figures out he's got to be right, he's just experimenting. So we just try to become experimenters. That's what we try to do in Buddhism. It's just one experiment after another, seeing if this thing works, how things work. Let's experiment and see if it works. If it doesn't work, we haven't lost that much. If it works, maybe we do it again. Second stage of Dzogchen is when you have gained this view and you've learned how to practice mindfulness, and you do it and it works. You do it and it works. You do it and it works. And one day a light bulb goes off and it says, shit, if I do this, it works. And there's nothing else I need to be doing. Anything else I'm doing is like, maybe I need to do this to pay the groceries, but it's way down here compared to my true work, my true freedom, my true happiness is to do this work and commit. You make a commitment that this is it. Oh yeah, this works. This is what I should be doing. This is what I'm going to do. That's it. I made a commitment. I'm going to do it. That's the second stage. It took me like 40 years and I wavered. I waver.